to try and get to the playoffs or win the division or whatever it is, you're not going to make a wild card, so you got to win the division. And as long as you're still in contention for that, you're fighting for that. Because once you get to the playoffs, the wildest things happen in the playoffs.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because I've been on a lot of teams and I know a lot of players that, yes, mathematically you can still have that approach, but some guys don't pay attention to that. When you look at your O-line, you're like, who's going to protect us? Like, is Andy Dalton coming back? Is DiNucci actually going to be the guy that's going to get us there? No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I can't fool with DiNucci. I mean, he cool, nice kid.
That's exactly my point. You're telling me some players on this team, even all the comments that we heard, a lot of guys don't play hard the whole game. I mean, it just seems like, and that was when they're still in it.
But you try to pick it up for DiNucci, though. You don't just because he's not very good, you don't all of a sudden lose your spirit and your motivation. You make sure you're doing everything you can to help him try to be the best he can on the field. At some point in time, athleticism and everything catch up.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that's just the reality.
When the Eagles, I mean, yes, you were in the game for a minute, but when the final score ends up being 23-9, I'm telling you, some Cowboy players have checked out. Mentally checked out. Not there.
Not a surprise. Keyshawn J. Wills, you've been presented by Progressive Insurance. Speaking of quarterbacks this morning on the Dr. Pepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN, we're asking simple, which quarterback do you fear facing the most? And if you say Ben DiNucci, we may have to hang up on you. We've never hung up on call. We may have to do it. On the Dr. Pepper call-in line, 888-SAY-ESPN. Key, J, and Z. And if you say DiNucci, we would have to block you on Twitter. All right. Keyshawn J. Williams have been brought to you by Goodyear. Whether you're on the field or on the edge of your seat, Goodyear wants you to embrace the unexpected. Every upset, touchdown, or fourth quarter comeback, let it move you. No matter what the season throws your way, Goodyear is here to help drive you forward. Goodyear, more driven. Still to come, Rex Ryan is next with the simple question: how much blame lies at the division for sure? What's the big takeaway here with the caveat that Jerry said last week? He believes Andy Dalton will be good to go on Sunday. Oh, by the way, they're playing the Steelers, but Jerry doesn't make that call. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, it just the Cowboys. I understand the division is bad, but the Cowboys are a bad football team. They don't. If they still holding out hope to win the division, good luck. I don't see it happening. For me, taking away and looking at it as Carson Wentz. You had this opportunity to go up against a secondary and a defense that's just trash and take advantage of them, but yet and still you go 15 or 27 for $123. You throw 2 picks, and you lost 2 fumbles, although you did throw 2 touchdowns, but the 4 turnovers is the problem. It's hard to win a game like that.
You can't win a game. You played against this bad football team. It happened against a bad football team, and you got out of there with a W. You escaped with 4 turnovers. That just goes to show you how bad the Cowboys are.
I don't want to see any team from the NFC East in the playoffs. Let's be honest about it. I mean,
they don't deserve to go.
I mean, we get back to, I know somebody's going to get home field. It's probably going to be the Eagles, but you're telling me with the way they played and the way they played throughout this entire season, like that's deserving of being in the playoffs? Like when I can go to the AFC West or I can go to the AFC North and talk about, I mean,
you win the division, you go.
Oh, so annoying.
Is
it not annoying, Key?
I know you don't care. I know you don't care. I don't really look at it as annoying. They're just a bad football teams that are out there, and a lot of them happen to be.
But why are we rewarding bad football teams?
You're not going to change what has been going on for over 100 years in football. Just like all of a sudden going to switch up. You win the division, now you can't go to the playoffs no matter how you do it. Think about Seattle several years ago. They went 7-9 and beat a New Orleans team that had a better record in Seattle. I mean, that's what it is. You know, the interesting thing about it, though, is as crazy as it may sound, depending on who you get, who you draw, let's say that the Eagles all of a sudden win the division and Tampa Bay loses in the South to New Orleans, but Tampa Bay gets a wild card berth and they got to travel to Philadelphia. Philadelphia pops them in the snow, in the cold, in Philly in the month of January. I mean, that's the beauty of the playoffs.
Here's the only number you need to know is Week 8. We put a curtain on Week 8 tonight on ESPN between the Bucs and the Giants. 8 weeks in to the NFL season, the NFC East has a grand total of 8 wins. 8 wins for the division. We're 8 weeks into the season.
One a week.
It's a great average. Keyshawn J. Will Zubin coming to you live from the Seaport District at Pier 17, brought to you by Chase. Good and bad. Let's start with the good, with Carson Wentz essentially saying, we've got a little springboard now.
I'm pumped we got the win, but I'm going to have to watch the tape. And, I'm a little frustrated with just how I played and how we left some plays out there and left some points out there, missed some big opportunities, and I can be better.
And Ezekiel Elliott on the other side, certainly the Cowboys can be better, fellas.
I mean, it was a step in the right direction, but not good enough. Division game, we needed to win this one. We were right there. We were in a good position to go and get this game. We got to find ways to win these tough games, and it's not going to always be pretty, but we got to find a way to pull out.
So just imagine being Andy Dalton. You come off concussion protocol, and your first game back is against the Steelers. That's the first game that you're supposedly going to come back. Still knowing that your O-line is decimated doesn't give you the vote of confidence moving forward.
No, it probably will not, but hopefully they could put some protections in. The offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, could put some protections in to shore up that Andy Dalton won't get concussed again.
See, I'm soft. I'm like, look, DiNucci, you go ahead and take this next one. I'm going to take this week off. I'll see you guys back when I come back the following week.
It happens, man. But Andy Dalton wants to play. He wants to be out there with his teammates, and if he's cleared to go, then I'm sure he'll go.
How do you get through the rest of the season? You've often mentioned on the show the first year with the Jets when they were rebuilding and drafted you first overall. It was a 1-15 season. Yes, things changed after you changed coaches, but when you're in the land of no return here, you just said, hey, they're a bad football team. There's nothing you can do. The trade deadline's tomorrow. Is it even worth doing anything? We still got more than half the season to play with the hottest lights and the biggest microscope in the league on this team, no matter how many wins or losses they have. This is an organization you played for. You know what it's like playing for the Cowboys. How do you get through this if we're only halfway through?
You dig deep. You dig deep.
I love that line. Dig deep.
You dig deep. You do what you have to do and what you can do to help the team out. You do your part, and hopefully everybody else is doing their part. And you put all those parts together, and hopefully they will. I know I sound like a coach.
You sound like a coach. That's horrible.
No, but you do. You try to build one block at a time and get all the best guys to hopefully align themselves so you can get the W. This is not abandoning the ship. You don't start to abandon the ship till later on. Later on down the line, then you start to think about, hey, there's 31 other teams that are out there. I'm a free agent at the end. I got to do my best part. But while you're still in it, you're in it for the team. And until you're mathematically eliminated, that's what you do. Now, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm not looking to go and trade for a quarterback. I got deeper issues than my quarterback. I got offensive line problems. My back end and my secondary is not very good. I don't get much pass rush. My linebackers are suspect. And so it's like, it's so many different holes that need to be plugged for this team to be successful. Unless you're making a 12-player trade, then what are you trading for?
There's no Herschel Walker trade coming here, I'm pretty sure. What's it like Wednesday? You install a game plan. Jay said you got the Steelers coming. It's game week again. You're lethargic. You're a 2-win football team. I mean, what's that like, the drudgery of it all?
You think about that game. You think about the game, and you try to put a game plan together, and you execute, and you look for the good that comes out of the last game, and you try to implement that into this game. That's all you can do. You can't